welcome to another episode of the 10 question series. Today I am with the amazing Caitlin Harrison. Caitlin helps business owners attract their ideal clients using her expertise in graphic and web design. She's also the owner and lead designer at Caitlin Harrison Creative, where she offers a range of services, including logo and visual branding, website design, development, ongoing design needs, and even website support. Welcome, Caitlin. It's so good to have you on this episode.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. So let's start off with what first sparked your passion for graphic and web design, and what inspired you to launch Caitlin Harrison Creative?
So I have always been an art kid, starting back in elementary school, all through middle school and high school. I was always taking art classes instead of sports and things like that. So I learned in high school about the career of graphic design. And so I followed that to college, and I got a degree in graphic communications. And I spent most of my like quote unquote corporate career before I launched my business in local print magazine publications. So two different ones. And that really helps you wear a lot of hats, lots of design challenges to kind of take a lot of content and make it look beautiful. And so, as a lot of people, the pandemic hit in 2020, and I was ready for a change of pace. And so I left that position and I started my business here, where I just really love being able to help entrepreneurs show up and kind of tackle showing up authentically online because of how digital our world is.
And that's amazing. I love that. And tell me, so you're definitely all about empowering your clients through your work. How does that play out in real life projects, and why is it such a core part of what you do?
I think that I love empowering my clients because the visuals and the tech can feel overwhelming, particularly if you've been in business for a few years and you either DIY'd or kind of got it done by, just get it up and running. And so then you're like, well, now what? And I love to be that like voice that comes in and helps you take a look at it from the strategy side and then the design piece, kind of think through what they need and where they're trying to go. And so I always say that it's a strong visual brand really represents who you are and gives that know, like, and trust factor to people when they visit you on your socials, on your email list, on your website, across the board. If it's a cohesive vision, you'll feel more confident. And I love being able to empower my clients to go out and change the world.
Amazing. That is so important. And I love that. So tell me, I'm really interested to know, what is the most fulfilling moment in your career thus far? And tell us about a project that left a lasting impression on you.
I think one of the surprising things about becoming an entrepreneur has been the personal development and the never-ending quest to learn the next thing for myself, and then how I can share that with others. I had heard a quote once that was like, become an entrepreneur and do the most like self work you've ever done in your whole life, because you have to
Yeah.
show up every single day in this business. And so I think that that's one of the biggest impacts, is just how much I've changed and grown, and then being able to share that with those around me. And so, one project I think of is someone who had all these various characters and complex puzzles, and it was a subscription service selling like mailed items, and there was a lot to navigate between what she had and where she was going, and existing branding and building a tool that she could use every single day. And so, helping her feel empowered and feel like she knows that I'm in her corner even now after, the build is done, and she's in my like care plan, in that way that I build you a tool and I make sure that you know how to use it. And if you still have questions, I'm always here. And so that is a piece that really helps give me that reward and then gives them that lasting impression of like, I'm not just going to vanish after I build something and you don't know how to use it.
That is beautiful. I love that you offer that kind of support. And you describe your superpower as building intuitive visions for businesses. How do you begin the process of actually understanding a client's vision and then translating it into design?
It starts with a lot of conversations. There's a lot to kind of talk through and just listen. And sometimes I ask questions that don't feel like they pertain to like, what's your favorite color? But it's that listening phase to help dig into what they're trying to do, who they're trying to serve. And the more I listen, I think that the more I can sort of visualize things for them. I've definitely had clients say that the design or the logo or the whatever comes out better than they could have ever imagined. And I think that is just something that comes natural to me, which is amazing. And then I like to try and find the right ways to speak to them so that they understand and I'm not getting weighed down in the jargon of the design or the tech pieces where it's like we're working on just making it instinctual for them.
Mhm. Beautiful. When it comes to your client relationships, what does peace of mind mean to you, and how do you ensure that they feel confident throughout your design process?
I think that, as I mentioned before, it can feel really overwhelming to be hiring out this piece of your business because, again, it is that like that quote unquote physical representation of what your business is. And so I want them to trust the process. I want to make sure that I am clear in the steps of where we are. And I have a phased approach, making sure that the project management piece is also there so that they don't feel stressed or stuck anywhere. And I also want to always make sure that they know that I'm going to be with them through the whole thing. I did have a client where we really struggled to find that vision. It was not coming as naturally for me to like hear what she wanted, but we worked together and I made sure that, along the way, we kept digging in and kept having the conversations that needed to be had to get her to a brand and a vision that she was really excited about. And so just really being that teammate, I think helps them feel that confident and that peace of mind with the investment of working with me.
That is so true. And I think, having that support structure is so important when you're invested in building the visual aspect of your business. So, in terms of navigating and balancing the creative and technical aspects of your work, especially when it comes to building something like a sales funnel, which can be complex, how do you navigate that?
I always sort of say it's that strategy first, it's those conversations, and then the design is next, and the tech kind of comes at the end. I'm always kind of saying that I'm a designer first. My
Yeah.
brain works on figuring out the tech and or finding the answers. I am such a problem solver. So we usually start at the top of like what are we selling? What is the main call to action of the website, the funnel, whatever piece, and then kind of talking through what it needs to be so that it can all work seamlessly, and make sure that we've kind of covered all the pieces before we get in there and spend a lot of time being like, oh, we didn't really think about this. I try and do it all up front. It doesn't always happen, but the goal is
Yeah,
keeping
like,
it simple.
and you know what? I think it's really important that you emphasize conversations, 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 because it's a journey, it's a process, and you've got to trust it and really talk through it. So tell me more about visual branding. I know that this can feel like a mystery to many business owners. So again, how do you guide your clients to discover a look and feel that they're actually excited about and one that truly connects with their audience and community?
Um, I always wanted to make sure it feels like an extension of them, even when it's potentially more of a corporate client where it's not necessarily, like a personal brand. It's still, I want it to be something that they're happy to send the link to their website when they meet someone or hand their business card out. And so, that guiding them through it involves conversations, it involves looking at competition, it involves Pinterest, like all those like little things where it's like just go out into the world and see what you like. I always say like look for websites that aren't even in your niche or your competition. You know, I've had people share the Target website or like that is just so far from what they or the Apple website gets shared a lot for that clean, really like confident design. And that's just that shows me which direction they're going, and like those little pieces hint towards where that brand should go.
Love that. Amazing. I'm excited about this question. What is an example of a challenging technical issue that you resolved, and how did it impact your client's project?
So I had a restaurant client where their site was kind of out of date. You know, they had put it up a bunch of years ago. So a lot of things had broken links, misinformation as to hours, or even I think a couple locations, like addresses, all those different things. And the user experience was really kind of clunky. And so there was just like a poor experience from top to bottom. And so again, they had branding established that was beautiful. And so it was just kind of coming at it from what I would want, particularly as someone visiting a restaurant site, thinking through and really refining how I think people would navigate. And I always kind of say, I want to make sure that you're covering the bases for multiple types of users. This is a little bit more in sales page design than just like restaurant website design, but you've got to think through who wants the quick answer, who wants to read everything word for word, and who's going to just like scroll real fast and get the gist. So you kind of want to be answering the design for all three of those kind of people. And so, you know, with restaurants, it's like you want the hours or the address right away, or you want the menu and you want to be able to find that really fast. So that, you know, and fixing broken links and adding photos and things like that. So that really helped boost their business. And it just the amount of traffic that they get is just so much higher today than it was before.
Incredible. I love that. So, your design philosophy, it leans toward clean and simple aesthetics. Why do you believe simplicity works so well in branding and web design? And how do you think it benefits clients in general?
I think that there's sometimes a misconception that like simple design is either not intentional or not complete. And I think that there's almost a power in leaving it clean and not adding too many extra doodads or extra design elements just to like fill the space. White space and breathing as you're reading through a page or a lead magnet or anything like that is really key to getting your message across really fast. Minimal colors, really strong, simple typography. It helps your brain calm down in a very noisy
Mm-hmm.
world. And so it helps you have a clear hierarchy. And so I always think that sometimes it's even harder than it looks to have a simple design and be like, nope, it is good. It is good exactly as it is with like one or two, you know, little footprints and like stamps of their personality, but keeping it clean just really helps build that instant connection and that trust and credibility.
Totally agree. Just a little bit on that question, but not part of our official questions. Do you think that including a lot more design and pictures and text, does that actually weigh heavy on the website? And in terms of loading processes, does that affect it at all?
It does, but there are definitely ways to make sure that you're streamlining it and that you're prepared. So again, that's part of the prep work of making sure that the images are optimized, and that the build itself is optimized. It always comes back to that question of why are we doing something? So are we making it long to overcompensate, or do we have enough that we really want to explain thoroughly and finding that balance? And you know, I'm a visual person, so I love having great photos on a website. So I always want to find that balance that covers all those bases.
That's great. So finally, what is your advice and what would you that you would give to someone looking to streamline their business's online presence, especially if they feel overwhelmed by tech challenges?
Don't jump into a piece of tech that you think just because everyone tells you you need it. Always kind of take a step back and don't get overwhelmed or distracted by the industry buzzwords. SEO, automation, digital marketing, all of those things sound great, but it's like SEO is a very complicated thing, and like it works great for certain businesses and it doesn't work great for others. And so to really make sure that you're focusing on like what is your core goal for your website and for your business. And so start there, and then the tool or tool set that you need will kind of come to the front when you're not focusing on I want to rank number one on Google because some guy told me I needed to.
Yeah, that's such great advice. Thank you so much for that, Caitlin.
Welcome.
And I really think that if you are looking for someone that is website design, development, your website needs maintenance and support, definitely get in touch with Caitlin and her business. I will leave her links, all of the links in the description below. And having that personalized support is an amazing thing to have. So if you're a business owner and you're watching this, this is your sign
Yes,
to speak with Caitlin. And Caitlin, where's the
absolutely.
best place for them to get in touch with you?
On my website, there is always a discovery call link to just book a no obligation consultation where we can just get on and kind of meet each other, see what you need. I offer various services all the way from just like some consulting hours all the way up to that full build and design and management. So
Perfect. And just by the way, Caitlin's website is amazing. So that should already be enough for you to book a call. And this is the purpose of the 10 question series. It's to really connect with global leaders, businesses, brands, professionals, and creatives that are really making an impact and changing businesses and lives. So thank you so much again, Caitlin, for your time. It was so wonderful having you here. And I wish you all the best for this new year ahead.
thank you very much.